And we're live. If only you could hear some of our pre-show banner.
My goodness. So hi everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Friday in December. We're coming up on both Hanukkah and Christmas, and it is such a festive time of year. Lenny and I both celebrate Christmas, therefore you get you get that vibe. We'll do it again next week. Thinking ahead, we won't be here. Our office closes between Christmas and New Year's as a midway reset, and we're very lucky and grateful and appreciative of that. But that means we won't be live recording the exchange.
We will not. The penultimate 2025 edition of the exchange.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, Carly's doing some amazing recaps. So, we just recapped this morning the top 10 articles published this year. She's working on top 10 podcasts. She does her own little, her own little exploration of the year. So we should have some, we should have some of that. We should try to get some of that for next week, Lenny. What's our 2025 recap of the show? Because here we are, what episode are we up to?
113. It says over the top.
Oh, it does say.
It
does.
Yeah,
it's 113.
Yes. I'd lose track if it weren't. Thank you, Carly, for putting that up there.
So, good stuff. And I mean, as usual, we have a lot to talk about. We missed you last week. Rick, though, held down the fort pretty successfully, and we do want to shout out and say thank you for your sponsorship again. Do we have that, Carly? Do we pop that? To pop up the little thing sponsored by, I don't remember how we do this, Lenny.
There we go.
There we go.
He did. I listened. I was not live, but I listened on Saturday or Sunday, I think, when I was working. And yes, you guys had a great conversation. Rick was fantastic. So yeah. I felt a little jealous.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, no, he was a great guest, and we're grateful for the sponsorship. Thank you so very much. So for those of you who are listening who are like, hey, I want to do that, you can reach out to either directly to Dana, who you always reach out to, or to Lenny or I, or to the exchange at greenbook.org, and you can talk about it. But, these next few episodes are sponsored by Talena.
Yep. And one quick just shout out on that, too, that Carly was doing some analysis on growth. And we won't get in all the numbers, but it really, thank you. We see it. The show is growing, and it's growing really well, and we really appreciate it. And you like us. You really like us. So very cool.
I don't know that everybody is old enough to understand that you like us. You really like us.
Probably not.
Just you can Google it. There was a Academy Awards speech by Sally Fields at one point, and she was like, "You like me, you really like me," when she won an award, and it was iconic for those of us who watched that back in the day.
I remember watching it live.
I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so thank you. So we have stuff to talk about.
A lot.
Very, very. It's no other way to say it. I keep looking at it and saying, "Show me the money." There's so much money. So much money. So we're starting with the money.
Yeah.
Capital investments. Why don't you go ahead and let's start with what Accenture is up to?
Yeah. So Accenture, they didn't specify the number, but Accenture made an investment in WEVO, which is my take, a combination of synthetic and primary research enablement platform. AI-driven synthetic personas, all of that good stuff. Without getting too far into the weeds, I think it's incredibly interesting to see a consultancy that is owning, process is changing and making investments into platforms that totally change the process, reduce costs, increase speed. That's fundamentally what it is. So I think that's really indicative of where things are going, or understanding the process of insights generation is changing pretty significantly. And I think that's the theme.
Yes, there's a theme. But no, you're right. So you remember when like Accenture and I think it was probably Deloitte, and they were first showing up on like grit lists, and we were like, hold up, this is our space. What are these consultancies doing?
Right. You're a client. You're not a supplier, right? But
they, of course, they start bringing research in-house, and they start doing their own research, and they start partnering with other players in the field. So it makes sense that now they're going to go into AI-powered research. Like, of course they are, because they are also paying attention to some of the things we'll talk about later, which is AI at the enterprise level. So, so yeah. And can I just say one other thing? This combo is going to be a recurring theme also, this synthetic personas plus, real user testing. And I'm in the midst of curating our, finalizing, I shouldn't say even curating, our IAX APAC agenda. And that is the AI theme, is how are we pairing AI with humans in our current wave of research? So the now in AI and research is the is that combination, the both. It's all about the both.
100%. And well, there's going to be a lot more talk.
There's so much
as we progress, right? But I mean, not even in a show, just going forward, right? Is that all take shape? But so let's go to Outset. Congrats to them, 30 million Series B. So I forget how much they raised on their A, but it was a pretty good chunk too. So
we have, Carly, I didn't pull up this, but Outset we had them on our podcast with their client, which is Away. One of their clients is Away Luggage. And so, I mean, this was going back, anyway, I don't remember what year we put, even when this was even published. It was, anyway. Anyway, they were talking at that time about some of their kind of UX work in the world of usability of luggage. That was the context here. So I think it's interesting, like we're talking about all experience management now, right? Like this is not just UX, but now we're doing potentially just the customer experience in general. We're moving into that space, and AI is helping us do it faster. So
AI native, as they point out in their and as an operating system, really. Really interesting. Well, let's go to the next one, because this one sent some shockwaves through the industry.
So we'll do that. We'll do that dramatic pause. Why shockwaves? Was it we'll tell you who in a minute, but was it the $1 billion valuation in their Series A? So synthetic research startup Aru, Aru, raised Series A at $1 billion headline valuation to scale simulated population market research. So synthetic data, right? A synthetic AI startup, $1 billion.
Let's put a little context here, guys. Reports were less than 10 million in ARR, a $50 million raise, and $1 billion valuation. Does that give you a sense of the multiples?
A lot of money.
A lot of money. Give you a sense of the multiples.
I feel like we talk a lot about million, in the millions. We're seeing a lot of, in the millions investments here, but this one is among the biggest we've seen, certainly for a platform that I don't know much about.
No one heard. No. None of these are young guys. They're like, I mean, I could be their father. They're all young. None of them from the research space. And heading to disrupt it, with a purely synthetic solution. I think their special sauce is prediction. So more than just, kind of modeling, let's test a concept of, that they're using synthetic sample with a prediction model to predict future events and outcomes. I mean, that's kind of the holy grail, right? To an extent, that we have attribution and accurate prediction. That's worth a lot.
Right. So, where any prediction is always, that's not the name of the game. We're trying to trying to figure out what those consumers are going to do. Like if you really think about it at a very basic level, right? What we are trying to do is understand consumer behavior, and wouldn't it be great if we can predict consumer behavior? So it makes perfect sense because it gets us closer to that end goal of everything we're trying to do for the brands that we act in service to. What I think is interesting about this is, not unlike our friends at Listen, who we refer to periodically, competition winners and big sponsors at our IEX West event now. They are also kind of coming at it with a different lens, right? With this kind of this youthful startup entrepreneurial excitement of, wait, we can do this now. Like, it's so cool to see. Because the enthusiasm is obviously paying off in whatever they're pitching is.
I think that's a hugely important point, right? That we built methodologies to address business issues because we had to be, that process was in, we had to figure out how to do it, right? Yeah. AI makes process easy. There's nothing there is no it could just be duplicated like that. So these guys are backing into, here's the business issue.
Yeah.
What's the business problem? How much is that worth to solve?
Yeah.
And reverse engineer, and then you just, build a series of agentic connections and overlays and prompts and data assets to address the business issue.
Yeah.
So it's a very it's an interesting time, and we are just going to see
more. So like Crisp, I don't know anything about Crisp. Crisp closed a Series B1 that's 26 million, adding features, expanding data partnerships, and investing in their AI agent product. What did you glean from this one? I didn't even get a chance to look at it.
Yeah, so they're trying to, this is a retail solution where basically they want to inventory every digital product across the board and make that available within an AI dashboard to analyze, the Ale8, Kentucky original. It's ginger ale, by the way, Ale8. Ale8 selling at Kroger for, whatever, $2.99 a pack, but at Publix for $1.99, whatever. The bad example, because you wouldn't be doing that digitally, but that's what they're building, is an AI database of retail products. That's incredibly valuable. So
So the last money shot that we're sharing today is our friends at Bolt Insight raising 7 million euros to expand globally. So continue what you're doing. They like what they're seeing. But also what I love in this press release is that it's also to develop kind of an assistant AI chief insights officer. Kind of that feels important and worth talking about in context, right? So for it's the kind of the blurb that we got was, for real-time decision support. But basically, so congratulations. Let me take a pause. Congratulations on the money. I mean, really, it's just good stuff to see these companies getting money. I love the money that's flowing into our industry. And I love, the work that we've seen these partners of ours doing. It's really cool. And, they've been on the podcast recently. I don't know if you've had him on CEO series, he's a really great guy, but putting some pieces together for you all listening, in this release, part of this money is earmarked for a position in the organization that is, assistant AI chief insights officer. There's already an a chief insights officer, right? These positions. So here's the context. I just had on our podcast, Joanna Byerly. I discovered her. She came to our IXAI event. And she was incredibly engaged in the back room, really enthused, excited. I was like, okay, I have to find out more about her. Had her on the podcast. Episode launched this week. Carly can share the episode. But one of the things we discussed is the new roles that are popping up throughout our industry. Companies are hiring AI experts, not just to help with their product development, but to help with their internal processes and operations. So AI experts from outside of Insights are coming in, learning about the industry, And then, getting to work, because this is the world now. Like, it is a changed world with new positions. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to point that out and have a listen to that episode, because she rattled off a few different types of positions that companies with money right now and that are scaling up or in a growth mode are hiring positions that we wouldn't have dreamt about when we were starting our position. We wouldn't even thought that would be a position for us. It's opening up brand new work opportunities. Really interesting.
Yeah. It's I before we transitions, I'd sum up. I was just thinking this morning. 2025 was the year we saw the signals, right? 2025 was the year of acceleration and solidification.
Yeah.
Right. The direction of travel is clear. The 2026 is the year of scaling all of that.
Yeah.
So everything we've been telling, do we still have the horse around? Right. The
horse. The horse is in the baby's crib at this point.
Horse in baby's crib. Okay. All right. So so this transformational wave, right? It is not peaked yet. But it is clear now that it's not a ripple. It's a wave. Next year is the year that wave will really just kind of subsume everything and become a tsunami. And so adapt now, guys.
Yeah. If you haven't wrangled this beast, use the next 2 weeks. use your year-end time and hit the ground running. Like, get your Q1 goals in place. And we can talk, ad nauseum about how that's probably let's go quarter by quarter. Like, gone are the 5-year plans at the moment for everybody. I would say universally, like, let's not worry about some 5-year plans right now. Let's worry about Q1 plans.
I agree. And for what it's worth, so the last thing, all these for this. I mean, the barrier to entry to the lift to do these things is only decreasing. I read a thing yesterday that with the advent of GPT 5.2, is that the new one? Anyway, that the compute cost has just plummeted. Yeah. Right. So not only compute costs are plummeting, so therefore, that impacts overall cost. It takes time.
Yeah.
And yes, you need to have some people that know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
But this is not a monumental shift from a technological standpoint, from an investment perspective.
Right.
So, these are it's not as hard as it used to be. We're not talking about 6 months. We're talking about 60 days.
Right.
So we still have time to really adapt and shift and utilize your assets to be competitive in this market.
Yeah, and let's just stay with that, Carly. We're bopping down. Just if you want to pull up the link to OpenAI introduced GPT 5.2 just yesterday or something, the day before yesterday. I just want to stay with it for a minute, because when I'm thinking about this and I'm looking at what it can do, and I'm like, right, greater spreadsheet analysis or whatever, faster, whatever, faster, cheaper.
I've heard marginal improvements, but marginal is still pretty significant in this case.
Yeah, and I think that for me, I was thinking, like, why does that matter? Like, why would this be something? I'm trying to discern: is this something really worth sharing? It's just a tech development. Is this nominal lift, a big one? But the reality is the people on your teams, the ones we just talked about, you're going to be hiring for and looking for, have to be able to then adapt all processes, check all systems. How, like, you can open up your phone and you're like, shoot, there was a software update and now everything looks different, or my phone's behaving differently. Like, all of these little updates come with changes, and you need someone who can react quickly to the changes and what they mean for your organization. Does this change our methodological approach? Does this change our software? Does this change our operating systems? Like, that's why these roles are so critical, because someone's got to track all this stuff.
Yeah, agreed.
If I've built a system based on this, I know I'm lecturing, I don't mean to, but if I've built something, a product based on an LLM that's kind of already existing, and the tech changes, I've got to know what those changes are going to do to my active projects.
100%. I mean, we try and do something comparable here, but then even this week, so a week ago, a friend of mine sent me, they had uploaded the entire grit report in the Notebook LM and used the beta version to create a presentation off of that. It's like, oh, well, that's really cool. What, So this week I've been using Notebook LM, which I had not used before. Right. I haven't really paid attention to all of the Google stuff. But oh my God, right? And Notebook LM is freaking amazing from a workflow standpoint, and what it does is amazing. So to your point, like I absolutely see, if you're not experimenting with those tools, it has so many applications for the research production process, right? I mean, fundamentally, you could do so much with Notebook LM that makes our jobs so much easier and faster. I wasn't paying any attention until he had sent me an output and said, that's what this is from. Shout out to Shane Skillen, right? It was Shane who did that. And I was just like, damn, okay. So we have to stay abreast because there's too many things happening.
And that's interesting because, and I think I might have talked about this, I don't know if it was last week or the week before or whatever, when the new Gemini came out, and all of a sudden I'm like, well, I'll let Gemini help me out in some Google Doc because we're in the Google ecosystem. So the next thing you know, I had just kind of invested all of this mental space getting to know ChatGPT's browser Atlas because I liked the integration into my work. But now I'm like, I'm not even going over there because Gemini is doing pretty good right now. And so, you bring up Notebook and I'm like, of course I should be looking at, Notebook and, like, let's not forget how much we like Perplexity, for heaven's sakes. We just have to go to it. Whereas what they're doing is they're making it easy for us to not go to the other places by building it into our,
Exactly right. Exactly. And so in that battle still being fought, right? We're seeing the pace of change at like these, we're talking about these underlying technologies that are driving broad-based change. And we're seeing what we talk about every week are these companies that are taking those things and applying them within their business and doing that. But we're not done. I mean,
we are not done.
Next week it's going to be something else.
I know. So, but let's talk about some of these new products. Pop back up to the new products, because what I thought was interesting about kind of the new product launches that rose to the top of kind of the list this week. They're also like, remember when all the new product launches were like, everybody was talking about conversational AI, chatbots, and blah, blah, blah. And this week, all of a sudden, it's like, we've got agent blockers, we've got digital twins, we've got something called alternative data analytics, which I'm like, well, let's take a look at that. So let's start with the rep data lift, because rep data, I'll just share it. Rep data added agent blockers to its research desk, right? So it's to detect and stop LLM agents and scripted survey automation. So like, of course, they have to do, this is their business, right? And they're not the only ones in this space that are working on quality. But if your business is quality, do you know how important staying ahead of what AI is capable of from a data quality standpoint, if your business is data quality? So point in case, right? Like, glad they have agent blockers. As the agents all get smarter, those blockers are going to have to be improved all the time. Job security right there.
Absolutely. Although I would still bring up, I don't think we got into this, but it's a whole other conversation for another time. We can have a whole show about it. In the era of agentic buying, like we are seeing right during the holiday season, we are at some point going to have to grapple with. There may be an appropriate scenario where an agent participating in a survey on your behalf is not fraud.
I put those aside because Rick and I really dug into those last week, talking about the agentic help and leaning into it. Whether it's me using ChatGPT, or whether it's me in Amazon or whatever, like, I'm using them right now. They may not be the end all, but those are getting better also, especially as they get more comprehensive, right? As more companies allow them in, they become more useful. The competition over there is going to be stiff.
Yeah, absolutely. I used Rufus this week. I've been using Perplexity. Rufus, that's the Amazon. I used it this week. So anyway, yes, hats off Rep Data. That should tell everybody something. If Rep Data is investing to block agents, how much do you think that's in the stream of sample? And we still probably need to step back and think, but when are agents okay? Because that's looming. The Acutus AI, I guess
Acutus AI. Yep, something called Z-coded.
Yep, digital twin, synthetic data and simulation. Go back to the $1 billion valuation.
Exactly. Yeah. So what are we trying to do? We're trying to, again, like analyze the risk of launching something with some, pre-launch, pre-go-to-market decision making. It's the name of the game here.
So, all right, I'm going to make a controversial statement here.
Dun, dun, dun. You never do that.
I know, but this, if you go to an APOR conference, right? The association, I forget what it stands for.
Survey.
Yeah. Like the ivory tower, academic researchers, public opinion, et cetera, et cetera. There are still active debates on RDD dialing, on telephone sampling.
Okay.
Great. Keep on having that conversation, guys. There is lots of conversations happening on LinkedIn every day about synthetic.
Yeah.
Great. Keep on having that conversation, guys. The world has moved on already.
Yeah.
The world moved on from RDD a long time ago.
Yeah.
The world has moved on already on the debate around synthetic.
Yeah.
So, and all of we talk about quality and all those things are important, help shape those products. But if you think that's a defense for the existing methodologies in your existing business, the ship sailed. And follow the money. So it just, it's anything from mobile to from telephone to online to mobile, and we keep, but wait.
Yeah.
Business reality says this is now the thing, and it's not. It's a big thing. This is not a small thing.
Yeah.
So this is a big thing. I questioned when Qualtrics released their report last year. They had something of like 72% would be using synthetic data in 2 years. I was like, oh no, no, that's no way. Way.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. Super interesting. And, we can talk more about, that, but, there's, as this becomes more and more the way of doing business, the quality of the data sets becomes even more important. Right. So
good segue.
These things go hand in hand, right? So but let's talk about this behavix thing, because I don't know much about behavix and I don't know anything about Maiden Century, but these two have now partnered to pipe behavioral signals into alternative data analytics for finance professionals.
Behavix is it's a SDK for to capture behavioral data. So Reality Mind, Curious, LootCQ Intelligence, YouGov behavior, right? Variations on a theme. You download an app, it's capturing, passively metering a buttload of your activity, and making that useful. In this case, the use case appears to be, I think Maiden Century is in financial services, so it's using these type of data sources as part of a predictive model, basically to assess, maybe I need to invest in whatever, stock XYZ, because we see this behavioral data of people are, ordering this off of their phones, so we should invest in that, whatever. I'm making a bad analogy, but my prediction is that behavioral data, and this is slightly informed by some insider knowledge, behavioral data is about to eclipse almost every other data source in our industry, because AI makes it usable and it makes it actionable, and it's better to make predictions off of people's behavior than off of their attitudes.
Absolutely. Especially, attitudinal stuff might be great for communications and all that. You know, let's go back to fit for purpose, because there is a place for all of that type of work.
100%.
But when it comes to issues of supply chain and how you're making decisions about that, you know, yes, really helpful to, you know, see shopper data, shopper frequency,
100%.
you know, where credit card swipes, you know, who's purchasing what, when, from where'd they come from? Were they on social first? Were they reading the reviews? All of the existing behavioral stuff, 100%. Like, and the smarter the systems can get at, I don't know, it's not even triangulating the data. It's pre-clustering it all in.
Right.
And then letting the machines take a look and say, yes, here are some trends that are super important, you know.
Yep.
I welcome those smart machines.
Absolutely. And talk about data quality. I mean, those things are, assuming that, you know, there's not anything funky happening, that should be, by its definition, observational data, behavioral data, passive measurement should be the highest quality data that you can get in terms of describing somebody's actual behavior, consumer path purchase, consumer journey, any, you know, attribution, click through, ad lift, blah, 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 all those things. And so they're scaling that. And that's what that's about. So
let's talk about these two enterprise AI. Here we are. We're running late. It's just what's going to happen. The two enterprise AI reports, because there's two of them. So it's kind of neat to like to check out both of them and see what they're doing. So OpenAI had an enterprise report, which was their own internal data plus 9,000. A
survey.
9,000
person survey.
That's a nice little survey sample size.
That's right. That's
9,000. You know, and then Menlo Ventures also did one. Who is Menlo Ventures? Because I don't know who they are.
A big ass VC fund. One of the big VC funds.
One of the bigs. So like look at these in tandem and say, all right, what's happening with AI at the enterprise level? You know. AI in day-to-day work. What else was in these? You know, faster cycles. Yes.
I thought
stronger governance.
I did like that Menlo Ventures actually called out research, although nobody will like how they called out research. So basically it was in the category of AI is replacing this function in this process to a great extent. But two different views of the same, you know, validating, you know, the kind of that debate of, oh, are we in a bubble? Well, no, we're in adoption mode now. So scaling adoption mode.
And I mean, I think, like, you know, it may be a bubble, but it's pretty rock solid one. That's you're not popping this fucker.
No. You did it. We finally had the inadvertent. Now
I'm turning all shades of red.
No, that was it. That was a good one.
Mark the date, folks. Friday, December 12th.
And Karen dropped
episodes in.
Everybody was betting money that I was going to be the first one to drop the F-bomb, and it was Karen. Oh, that's great.
All right, then let's move on quickly, because I don't know that I can recover. You go ahead. I'm sorry if your children were listening. I am sorry. Dear God, I hope Journey is not home from school, because Jazz listens. I really hope Journey's not home. Say, Karen.
It was subtle. It was really quick. So, all right. So last week we talked about the Anthropic interviewer platform. Just interesting point from Adrian Vermeersch, who has been focusing on kind of a data quality platform, that LLM providers could become the most reliable research participant sources. And he took that a little further in Claude. The discussion was interesting. I tend to agree that from just a process standpoint and scalability and technology.
Look at how OpenAI was able to get 9,000 survey, user responses. It feels like if you're there and they say, hey, can I ask you a quick question? And then they ask you a question, you get it. Like, we're there, we're using it, we're engaging with it all of the time. We're already conversational with these platforms. if I'm in perplexity and Claude pops up and says, "Hey, can I ask you a question?" I'd probably say, "Sure." Like, if it's conversational that way, like, it's so.
Which is how we recruit now. I mean, but it's like, oh, you're playing a game, right? I mean, the vast majority of sample is coming from publisher networks where somebody, you're getting an in-store, in-game currency. Earn 5 gold coins if you ask a few questions. That's the vast majority of all sample. Why the hell wouldn't we have that integrated directly into? I agree 100%.
Yeah. So, I'm not saying that they're gonna, I'm not saying they're coming for people, but they are definitely going to represent some competition. So usability, get on that. Right? If you have a tool, get your survey highly usable, because the competition is highly usable.
100%. I'll make one other. When Google surveys launched, right, I think I was the first one out of the gate to say, oh crap, here's what this could mean. Now, it never quite materialized that way, but I was privileged to be on their advisory board during those early days. And the thinking was they had access to the world's largest panel as Chrome users. Lots of reasons why that never actually, fulfilled its potential. But the concept remains exactly the same. Yeah. So you have a user base with an audience, and you have technology that makes it really easy to engage with people. Yeah. Why would we not do that?
Why would we not? Well, the Fast Company article might point out why we would not. So for future reading, folks, because we are over, we've got some future reading here, but this Fast Company article highlights this kind of growing paradox in AI, right? So these smarter models, yes, but is the data quality in these models deteriorating a little bit? Potentially. So what's going to happen if you have a bigger model with more information, but the quality is poor? Then you're not getting the right insights.
Yep.
So
garbage out.
Garbage in, garbage out. So this is just another article kind of parroting what Lenny and I have said first. So they should have quoted us as sources.
Oh, they should have. Yeah.
They should.
Yeah. Interesting. This IDR, I'd never heard of them before. They're 2026 research trends, human first insight, quality data, hybrid methodologies. Thought it was interesting. Nothing groundbreaking, more validation. People kind of arriving at the same conclusions. So it's not just Karen and I. Maybe they're drinking our Kool-Aid, but they didn't credit us, so I don't think they are. I think they just looked at the data.
Or ginger ale. You have your ginger ale.
Or ginger ale, yes. It's green. It's festive. Anyway, so it was interesting. And then our friends at Humanate released their 2026 What Matters Trend Report. And that's consumer trends. Interesting is it was a little more empathetic. I guess, right? I mean, there really was a lens of human of human empathy and behavioral drivers more so than
makes sense. It's kind of baked into their brand.
It is.
In the name.
It is.
That's in the name. But yeah, no, I think both of these kind of trend pieces, whether it's research trends or consumer trends, I think, what's central in both of them is, human connection, right? Human plus tech. That's been a theme throughout the day, right? So, yes, automation, but human behavior, or yes, AI, but human eyes, right? So it's this partnership working in tandem. And I think that is the biggest trend, is our partnership with technology right now.
100%. 100%. On that note,
I will go wash my mouth out with soap. And then check my email. How about you, Lenny?
Did you see that Tim commented? He noted the bomb. So
Tim Lynch noted the bomb. Yes, that's like whenever we did Sawyer jars in the house, like when our kids were at that age, like mine always filled up first. And so it was like, well, there you go. Somebody else gets to buy coffee or something. I don't know. But I am the one that's the problem in the household, I will admit. But here's a fun fact. If you all did your Spotify Wraps, let us know if the Green Book podcast or the Exchange or the CEO series were in your Spotify Wrapped, because shout out to Tim Lynch. He is in the 0.1% of listeners to the Exchange.
Okay.
So I don't know that anybody's got him beat. He may be our most loyal listener. So
our super fan.
I think he's a super fan. He he listens all the time. 0.1% of listeners. I'm like, yeah, that might otherwise, be you. So anyway, let us know if we showed up in your Spotify Wrapped, because that would be a lot of fun.
that would be. And well, thank you, Tim. Then so
yes,
all right.
That's loyalty. When you look up kind of loyalty in the dictionary,
Danielle doesn't listen.
No, that's why Tim's in the dictionary.
I guess so, right? So Tim, that I'm gonna have to tell my wife. I'm like, Tim Lynch, come on, we can't like
he knows we cover AI all the time. He's been in the insights industry as well, and he is an AI enterprise architect. So often what we discuss is relevant to him, I suppose. So
Danielle's like anti-AI. So she's like, she doesn't want to listen to me talk about it. So all right.
Oh, that was his YouTube Wrapped. I'm sorry. I stand corrected. He just shared that was his YouTube Wrapped. I didn't even know YouTube Wrapped did a thing, but yes, he's like, don't worry. Spotify has other shows, because he does do more in Spotify, but his YouTube Wrapped showed this one. So he's showing up there live, which, by the way, fun fact, most of our audience is now on YouTube. That's fair to say, right? That our YouTube subscriber base is growing faster than our LinkedIn Live base, which is really interesting. So
it is.
Shout out to all you YouTube folks.
Not what we would have predicted early on. So, all right, everybody, have a wonderful weekend. Stay warm. Great weekend.
We'll see you next week.
Yep. Enjoy the festivities if you have them planned. And
this weekend.
Talk soon. Bye.
Bye, everyone.